Welcome back, traders, and I'm super excited because this is the first ever weekly review and outlook on currency pairs that I will be uploading on my YouTube channel. So I'm pretty excited to make this video. A little bit nervous as well, but let's go. Yeah, I'll be exposing my charts and showing you guys what I trade. So today's the 8th of March, and the currency pairs that I'm looking at, I normally add everything up on my charts, but in 2021, I decided I'm only going to be trading GBP AUD, British Pound Aussie Dollar, British Pound USD, British Pound Japanese Yen. Then we got gold, American Dollar Japanese Yen, Euro USD, and Euro Japanese Yen. DXY and USD CAD I won't be adding in this video because DXY that's something completely separate from currency pairs in the sense of the way I analyze it, and I'll be making an entirely separate video on that. As with USD CAD, it's something I started trading recently. I'm not sure how it moves, so I'm going to have to build on that chart and build on my knowledge and data on USD CAD. As for the other pairs, I've been trading them for quite a while, so they're kind of like my kids. I know them almost off by heart. Each one has their own personality. So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into this video. I'll just be sticking on the 4-hour charts because it's quite the easiest place to trade off, and that's just my trading strategy. So without wasting any time, let's jump into this video. So looking at British Pound, Aussie Dollar. Yeah, I drew in these two value areas. And the reason for that is, remember, value area is not a rigid place, right? It's just an area, so the market can turn around either at these points on the area or just above the area, right? And some people would say this is the wrong way of drawing this, but the reason I extended this area is it seems as if the market is, for instance, if I look at this, if I look at the support, respected beautifully, respected 3 times, right? The 4th time it pushes out, but the sellers can't keep control. It comes back in, retests it, and goes up. It breaks below again. The sellers can't seem to find control. The buyers jump in again, respects the area with this retest candle, and goes in again. And then it's respected again. So that is why I've kept this area up. And as you can see, GBP AUD is ranging. And the rules of a ranging trade is I'm actually looking to go long on this pair. So if we have a break above, and a solid retest, I will be going long on this pair. If you do have a break below, I won't be going. I won't be trying to hit a huge target, but I'll try to go in for the hit these little resistance here, or the support, which is the last low, and that is about 95 pips. So that is what I'm looking for on GBP AUD, but I am quite bullish on this pair because overall on the daily it is bullish. It's not bearish even on the 4-hour. So that's British Pound Aussie Dollar. For the next pair, which is British Pound American Dollar, we have seen that the British Pound has not been very strong going into February, but the main move, going into March, but the main move of all the markets has been the American dollar, and that has been due to various reasons, where the Fed has hinted at hiking rates again because the market seems to recover. We have better data in America, and obviously the Fed's quantitative easing program or bond purchasing program is set to slow down, as well as Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief package has affected the US dollar, and we've seen amazing strength in the US dollar. So that has been moving the markets. What I do see is here we have potential BOS, which is a break of structure, and this is why I put the golden post up, right? So what I'd advise everybody to do from this time frame is, right, or from this chart is, anything above this golden post area, I would look for buys, right? And I'd run into this resistance over here. And the reason why I always put where my targets are is I like to know where I get in the market and get out of the market, because you don't want to have FOMO of not jumping in a trade and not knowing where to take out. So if the market had to push above this area, you wouldn't tell yourself, oh gosh, it went up 200 pips, I could have caught 200 pips, right? You want to know where you take out. You don't want to have that type of mentality when trading. So I'm looking for 115 pips if we go to the upside. The market is quite bearish at the moment on GBP USD, and if this break of structure holds, I'll only be looking to sell after a break of this area and I'll sell below. So we will need a significant close below and a beautiful retest in order for me to go short. And this would be my target, this area right over here. So the market seems to have changed from bullish to bearish on GBP USD. And if it breaks this area, I'd be the happiest trader to jump in on this trade in a short sell. So the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is, with all the analysis I'm going to do, the 7 pairs we're going to cover. As a trader, my goal is not to be right on every pair, right? I don't want to hit 7 out of 7. Okay, so if we review this video that I've posted in a week and I've hit one of my analysis, but I caught that trade, I am more than happy. I'll be smiling all the way to the bank. So my goal is to get in the market, get what I can get in the market and get out. My goal is not to be right all of the time as a trader. So yeah, that's just an extra tip. So we're going to move on to British pound, Japanese yen. This pair has been extremely bullish, and that is basically because of weakness in Japanese yen, right? And the movement in safe haven currencies. So quite simply on this pair, what I'd be looking for is if it breaks significantly above this area, right, and we have a beautiful retest, I'd look to go long because I'm still bullish on this pair at the moment and hit this resistance on top. But because it's that far away, I'd only be targeting about 50 to 100 pips. Just to keep it on the safe side, and I'm looking for a break-even trade. So that would kind of be my target when I jump in along on this trade. I wouldn't look for anything more. You should never pick tops and bottoms of markets. So just because it's at, let's say, all-time highs for the last 6 months, right? I can't tell myself, okay, because it's at all-time highs, I need to sell. Never pick tops and bottoms in a market. You want to go with what the market is showing you. So if I had to look for sells, this is my golden zone, because if this zone breaks, we'd have something that we call a break of structure, and it might go from bullish to bearish in the short term. So I would be looking at a retest of this level. We do see this was resistance, then support, but we did not have a retest on this level. So that would be quite a huge trade to take if we did have it play out. That would be about 280 pips. And I would be more than happy to jump in on this trade. I'm not quite interested in this level because this was just a minor value area, in my opinion, and not a huge key level that traders were looking at while trading. So I'm more interested in this level. All right, we do have a trend line up on this area. So if you miss the trade on the value area break, you could always jump in on the break of the trend line if it does break. So that is what I'm looking at when it comes to British pound, Japanese yen. I do think the yen will get weaker throughout 2021, and that is just my outlook on Japanese yen. So the next thing to go in is gold. This is one of my favorite pairs as well. I'm just going to switch over to the daily. We can see a beautiful downward trend, right? Some would even call this a channel down. And here we've got a resistance and we've got support that was broken last week. And we do see we have no retest on this support area, right? So what I'm looking for is kind of a pullback up to retest this area, and a push further down would be beautiful if we get a perfect retest. If not, I would buy above this area if it does break. So I'm going to go back to the 4-hour on gold. If you guys are trading gold, I would advise you guys, this is not for the faint-hearted. If you're a beginner, you want to spend at least a year or two trading gold. It is a very volatile pair and it moves a lot during the day. So I would advise you to be a bit more advanced before you trade gold. So the reason why I have this area up is this is the 61.8 on the Fibonacci, right? So I drew this Fibonacci on the daily, and the 61.8 would be a perfect retest for me, especially because it lines up with this value area, and I would be looking to sell short, right? If not, I'd be looking for a break above, and I would just target the next kind of resistance we would run into, and that is quite a huge move on gold. It looks small visually, but it is quite a huge move on gold, so that is what I'll be looking for. Let me just drop down to the 1 hour. we do see here that the trend line broke and it kind of seems like it came back in, so I'm not sure if this trend line is even valid. So this area I'm going to be deleting here. We should actually wait for candle closure, but it doesn't look like this trend line is valid or this area I draw up here. So I'm kind of waiting for some sort of break to the upside or confirmation to the upside. Hopefully I can catch the buy towards this area before I take any bigger trades. So that is what I'm planning on gold. But I am kind of bearish on gold for the whole of 2021, especially with dollar strength coming into play. So that is my analysis on gold, and I'm going to be jumping into the next pairs, USD Jpy, one of my favorite pairs. Now, a lot of traders did not know what to do with USD Jpy, especially because it moves heavily on stimulus packages and on the quantitative easing program that the Fed has initiated through the whole of 2020 and 2021. But the reason I love this pair is because once it moves in a direction, right, that is the direction for a very long period of time. So we can see, if I just switch over to the daily, we can see for the whole of 2021 it's been in a bullish move up, right? So at this stage I'll only be looking for buys. If we do get a retrace this week, I'm expecting huge moves once again because of what the Federal Reserve has been doing in America and just yen movement as a safe haven currency. I am expecting a retrace to test this level. We've not seen a retrace on this level, right? We've not seen a retest on this level. So that is why I would be looking for some type of fallback from this area, and I would buy off this, right? If it does break below, I'll not be targeting a very long trade, but just a short-term 74 pips, which is quite a lot as well. And I will be looking at this value area as the seller's targets. Reason being is because this pair is very bullish on the daily and the 4-hour. I would only be looking for buys. So once it reaches this area, I'd be either looking for a buy. If it does break this trend line and this area, then you could look for significant sells and the market changing bearish again. But I highly doubt it at this point, and I'd be looking for buys either from this area, but most importantly the sell bill from below this area. I'll definitely jump in on trade. So that is my analysis on USD Japanese yen. The next pair, which has been quite interesting through the whole of 2021, has been Euro USD, and people have been targeting quite ambitious moves on this pair. So I'm not in the game of speculating. I take what the market gives me, and at this point, especially with the dollar showing tremendous strength, the euro has shown strength as well. And the reason being for this is I'm not quite sure. I think it's because of recovery and because they are picking up with their vaccination program. We know that they weren't doing very good with vaccinations across Europe. So because they have been picking up the slack, I do believe the euro could strengthen a little bit. The euro has shown strength, but the American dollar has been so strong. It's been moving the market intensely, right? And yeah, you should watch my next video on DXY, and I'll be showing you guys why it comes into play with Euro USD. But to stick to this video is, what I'll do is, if I have a significant push up and it breaks above this area with a significant close above and a retest, I will be looking to go long on Euro USD, but only in the short term, because for 65 pip spot, and that would be my target. And the reason why I'll be going only short term long is I believe that the dollar, the American dollar, would be extremely strong through at the end of 2021, just looking at the recovery coming out of lockdowns, vaccines, and just the economy and the world economy becoming stronger, right? So that is why I'd be looking to only go long in the short term. This is the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, right? And we see that this support that we had here 1, 2, 3 times just broke and it wasn't retested. So if I take my Fibonacci and I draw it from the top of the wick all the way down to the bottom, assuming that this is the bottom, right? That seems to be the 61.8. Alright, so I'm just assuming if I do get a push up and a rejection from this area, I'd be more than happy to sell. Push below, I'd more than happy to sell this market as well, because I'll be buying into a very bearish market already, right? We can see Euro USD is bearish on on the daily as well, because we have a lower high and a lower low at this moment. So I'd be more than happy to sell Euro USD from below this point. Obviously, my target would be, I wouldn't have a target area, because if I look left, there's not a lot of support and resistance that I could see in the short term. So that would be a tough sell, but I'd be more than happy to jump in and catch a bit of pips there. So that is my analysis on Euro USD. Just please, guys, watch out for what the dollar will do this week. I'm very interested in what it will do throughout March. The last pair that we will be covering is Euro Japanese Yen, and once again here you can see we had Euro strength this month, but the dollar has kicked its ass and the Japanese Yen has become weaker, which is not a bad thing. It just means that we're going back to normal and safe havens are coming into play again. So just to slow things down, my charts normally don't look all this graphic. The reason I've put in these little labels is I want you guys to see how important market structure is. So we can see highs, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher lows, and this is just a confirmation of a bullish market, right? And now we have a lower high, and this is a potential BOS given this area breaks here. So if this area breaks and we have a significant retest, I'd be more than happy to sell this market, and once again I'd sell it all the way down to this area over here, which is about how many pips? That's quite a big move, 116 pips, and we can see this has been a significant value area. We have resistance, it breaks, and we had a retest and support. So this is an area I'm looking at. It was ranging in this area, so there's no support or resistance of value areas that I'd be looking to take profit on. So I'm still bullish on this pair, just because the Japanese yen has shown a lot of weakness, and the euro will strengthen, but not against the dollar. Maybe against the Japanese yen, it could strengthen in the long term and continue in the bullish trend. So that is my analysis for this week of the 8th of March, right? And the week ends on the 14th of March. So that is my analysis. I will be making another video on DXY, but for now, let's just stick to what I showed you guys now. And on social media, guys, I will be posting the results from this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you found it valuable, if you found any good content in it, please smash that like button, subscribe, and come back next week. We will be doing the next week's outlook and review on currency pairs. Traders, good luck and keep smashing the markets.